കൈരളി ടിവിയുടെ എല്ലാ മാന്യ പ്രേക്ഷകർക്കും എൻ്റെ നമസ്കാരം. ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ഒപ്പമുള്ളത് 17 വയസ്സുള്ള എമിലൻ റോസ് തോമസ് ആണ്. അമേരിക്കയെ റെപ്രസെന്റ് ചെയ്ത് എമിലൻ യുണൈറ്റഡ് നേഷൻസ് ഡേ ഓഫ് ജനറൽ ഡിസ്കഷനിൽ സ്പെഷ്യൽ നീഡ്സ് കുട്ടികളുടെ ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ സംഭാഷണം ചെയ്തു. ഈ വർഷത്തെ ടോപ്പിക് ചിൽഡ്രൻ ഇൻ ഓൾട്ടർനേറ്റീവ് കെയർ ആയിരുന്നു. എമിലിനിന്റെ 10 വയസ്സുള്ള ബ്രദർ ഇമാനുവൽ തോമസിനുള്ള കാർഡിയോഫാസിയോക്യൂട്ടേനിയസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു അപൂർവമായ ജനറ്റിക് ഡിസോർഡർ കാരണമാണ് എമിലിൻ ഒരു ചൈൽഡ് റൈറ്റ്സ് അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് ആയി മാറിയത്. എല്ലാവരുടെയും ജീവിതത്തിൽ സങ്കടങ്ങളും വിഷമങ്ങളും കാണും. പക്ഷെ ഈ കുട്ടി ആ വിഷമങ്ങൾ ഒരു പോസിറ്റീവ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയി മാറ്റുകയാണ്. എമിലിൻ, വെൽക്കം.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. You got your start when you were in 8th grade. You wrote a poem about your brother, and Dr. Pavan Anthony, a special education professor from Adelphi University, noted your poem and nominated you to the UN committee. What went through your mind when you found out about this?
The first thing that went through my mind is complete and utter shock. I had no idea that me, as an 8th grader, so young and so naive to the world's problems, was able to be a voice for a lot of special needs kids in this Day of General Discussion advisory team. And after he recommended me, I was so honored and happy to be part of this team.
That's so wonderful. You know, it's such a wonderful experience, and to be so young and be out there. Now, you were one of the 30 people selected to work with the UN committee on the rights of the child. And there were around 250 applicants, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So from your experience, now I watched your speech. You mentioned that you had the experience to talk to and listen to different representatives from other countries. What did you learn?
Well, mainly I learned that children in other countries don't have the same amazing opportunities that children in America have. As an American, we have access to insurance and health benefits that children in countries of Africa, India, and other countries around the world don't have. So I think mainly I learned how privileged we were to be an American. And also I started opening my eyes to the children's rights issues of other countries, especially countries of Africa and India.
That's excellent. Now tell us a little bit about your brother.
So my little brother, Emmanuel, he's 9 years old. And as you said, he has a very rare genetic disorder that he has had since birth. His main disabilities is that he can't communicate. He can't, talk with the same language that we talk with, and he also can't walk and move like we can. But the main thing to note is that he is an immensely happy child, and he is always smiling and interacting with me. And we have a lot of sweet moments together as sister and brother. So I think that's what drives me to speak on behalf of him, because I know that if he had the voice to speak up, he would. And I'm glad to be speaking for him.
That's wonderful. So this poem that you wrote for your brother, can you tell us a little bit about the poem? What were the feelings that you were trying to express?
So my poem was centered around actually a pretty sad experience that he had to undergo a few years ago. It was actually centered around his first seizure episode. So my little brother, Emmanuel, he has a seizure disorder that causes him to have seizures sometimes. And basically, that just means that he has a lack of oxygen reaching his brain. So this poem was my account of his first seizure. I had to actually call 911, and I had to be in the room calming down him and calming down my mother. And it was honestly a pretty scary experience. But from that, I learned that when I was put in a tough situation like that, since I love and care for my brother so much, I had the ability to rise up and call 911 when I needed to and remain calm. And my poem was kind of my emotional account of how I care for him and love him so much that I was able to keep my calms down, or keep my nerves down and keep calm, and was able to help him that.
You know, I commend your bravery and your ability to stay calm, because that sounds incredible. That sounds like an incredibly difficult moment that you faced in your life. So I am so proud of you that you remained calm in that situation and were able to think through the different steps that you had to take.
Thank you.
So at your school, you are part of and lead a student association called Operation Smile. Tell us about the work that Operation Smile does.
So Operation Smile is an amazing organization that works to offer free surgeries in a lot of third world countries. So these surgeries in specific help children who are born with cleft lips or lip deformations. And a lot of these kids, for example, in India, that's actually where Operation Smile has had its first surgery. A lot of these kids don't have access to this surgery to help them reverse their lip deformity. And so Operation Smile raises money from around the world to help perform these free surgeries and help get surgeons out into these third world countries to help these children.
That's
so
excellent.
My club helps fundraise money for the organization.
Good work. So thank you, and to your team that raises money to help kids smile. And the name is at Operation Smile.
Yes.
So Amilyn, you are 17 years old. You'll be going to college soon. What are your plans?
So my plans for college, I hope to major in some sort of science that will help me get into medical school. Right now I'm thinking neuroscience because the brain fascinates me, especially with my very young experience with Manny. My brother Emmanuel's nickname is Manny, having a seizure. So I've always been fascinated with the brain and neuroscience. So that is what I'm intending on majoring in college. I'm looking at many colleges right now in the area, University of Pennsylvania and some in the Philly area, and also even farther like Boston and Chicago. But my plan is to have a good, solid college education, a good major that will get me into a medical school and eventually become a pediatric doctor, maybe a pediatric surgeon.
That's excellent. You're an ambitious young lady and very capable.
Thank you.
So that's excellent. And it's your senior year. I hope you get to enjoy a little bit of, the activities that come with, being a senior in high school here as well. So let's talk a little bit about your background, right? Your family background. Now you live in Philadelphia, but your parents are from Kerala, Pala, and you visited Kerala. Do you have any special memories of Kerala?
So I visited Kerala multiple times in my lifetime, and I think some of my fondest memories are just spending time with Ammachi and Appacha at home. So a lot of times when we go to India, dad has a lot of friends he needs to catch up with and, meet up with a lot of college friends. And sometimes, these are long journeys he has to take, maybe 2-hour drives to these people's houses. And I like to stay at home with my Ammachi and Appacha and polish up my Malayalam skills. I like to talk with Ammachi in Malayalam and just do the best I can and work on my Malayalam skills overall. So I think that's my fondest memory. And, drinking chai with her at our dinner table.
Oh, you like drinking chai, huh?
Of course, I love drinking chai. I drink it here as well. So yes.
Okay, wonderful. That's a very Indian thing to drink chai. I know I can't survive without chai.
Yeah. No one can. No one can.
That's
all Malayalis love chai. All Indians love chai.
Yes, that's correct. Morgan, we are so proud of you for the work that you're doing and using your voice to speak up for the people who cannot speak for themselves. So please continue to do the good work. Is there anything else that you want to share?
I would just like to share that just because my experiences, being a sister of a special needs child has helped me become a children's right advocate. Any child, any age, you don't even have to be a child to be an advocate, can speak up and talk about the injustices that children face all over the country, especially right now with everything happening in Afghanistan, where women and children are facing a lot of the impact of being, moved around, being a refugee. I think it's always important to educate yourself and speak up, even if, you don't know much about it. You can definitely educate yourself and speak up.
Yes. And once again, I want to keep saying this, how proud we are that at such a young age, you are empathetic, you show care and concern for others, and are looking out for the well-being of others. So that's excellent. So keep speaking up and keep continuing to do the excellent work. And on behalf of Kairali TV, we wish you immense success for your future, and love and prayers for Emmanuel and your parents, Jose and Merlin. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.